Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So lately I've been having some interactions that had me thinking about love and loneliness, and I wonder if we could talk honestly for a minute. So let's say you're waiting for a text, you're watching your phone again, you're in the gap between ghosting and great connection again, and you're wondering what went wrong again, right? Guess what? You're likely not in love. You're just lonely and you just want to be chosen. Can we talk about it? I know, it's a hard pill to swallow, but sometimes what feels like love is really just a relief of attention. That text back or that text that you're waiting for is just validation. The good morning, beautiful. It might feel like it's some kind of connection, but it's actually just reassurance and it's emotional extraction at best, with no true emotional responsibility. So here's the truth. If being chosen makes you feel worthy, right, then love isn't what you're actually seeking. I know. You might be seeking proof that you matter. And that's not shallow or, terrible. It's just human. But a connection is not really a resource, especially without responsibility or any true presence on the other person's behalf. When you didn't feel consistently chosen growing up, your nervous system learned to chase this connection, right? Not because you're desperate or dogmatized, but because your body remembers what it feels like to never fully receive that connection. And that pattern is familiar to you, but it's also familiar to an emotionally broken man. So let's reframe this mindset. Real love doesn't have to feel like being rescued from loneliness. It often feels steady. It feels calm. It doesn't make you anxious about losing it, right? So if you're feeling frantic or obsessive or afraid, then that's attachment, not love. Pause and ask yourself this question. Do I love him or do I just love being chosen? Am I managing someone else's emotional needs while abandoning my own? The thing is, you deserve to feel special without auditioning for it. And real love does not make you shrink, beg, or ask you to prioritize others over yourself. It meets you where you're at and it builds you up. And being lonely is not a disease. Remember, you were lonely with him. So start by prioritizing your needs. See, sometimes we confuse attention for intimacy, and being chosen feels like proof that we're worthy, but we're just outsourcing our self-worth. Love shouldn't feel like a performance review, right? It should feel safe and consistent and reliable. Loneliness can disguise itself as chemistry. So pause before you call it fate or love. You deserve love that feels calm, not earned or bargained for. So here are some steps to help you just cure this, loneliness into love cycle. First, you want to learn to tolerate loneliness without medicating it with attention. Because loneliness isn't proof that you're unlovable, right? It's just a nervous system state. When you can sit with that unanswered text, let's say, or a quiet weekend or a quiet phone, or not being someone's favorite person, When you can sit with that without spiraling into, oh, I don't matter, nobody loves me, then you're starting to break the pattern. The cure starts with emotional regulation. So build a life that doesn't revolve around being chosen. You see, when your identity becomes the interesting girl, or the attractive girl, or the one that's wanted all the time, then you're always going to be auditioning, putting on a show, trying to get attention. It's better to work on creating an identity of being the peaceful one, let's say, the grounded one, the self-trusting one, the one who keeps her word to herself. Being chosen becomes a bonus in that time. It's not a priority, right? The next step is to try to heal the original wound. Most pick me so I feel special energy traces back to inconsistency, right? In your childhood or as you're growing up. Maybe love felt conditional and praise was rare. Attention may feel like it's unpredictable, like you're not going to get it. And so your body learned to earn closeness. But the cure is learning slowly that you really don't have to earn closeness. Somebody who loves you is going to make you feel that way. So that might look like, going to therapy or doing some attachment work with a counselor, reparenting your inner child, do practices that can help you with that. Do some honest journaling about your childhood patterns and how they're affecting you now. And learn to be alone but not lonely, because there is a difference. Finally, redefine what love feels like for you. Loneliness-driven attraction feels like urgency. It feels like obsessiveness. It feels like this intoxicating whirlwind. It can be anxiety producing. But a secure connection or a secure love feels more like calmness and steadiness, and as if there is it might be slightly boring, let's say, at first, but you grow in safety. So I think a general rule of thumb is if it feels like a high, then it's probably a wound, and it's something that you should look at. So what's the end product when you start choosing yourself and you start slowing it down? You stop trying to be chosen. You start choosing yourself, not in a cliche kind of way, like, oh, I'm healing. In a regulated, quiet, consistent way. You start building self-trust. You keep your word to yourself. You soothe yourself instead of chasing or you looking for reassurance. And then slowly, you won't be drawn to people who feel like you need to audition for them anymore. And you'll attract a love that's healing, a love that's safe and consistent and secure if that's what you want. So that's the video this week. I hope that you guys enjoy it. Chime in the comments and let me know. Have you chased love before, that when you were feeling lonely, or did you allow a certain attachment when you just felt like, oh my goodness, I'm so alone, I'm so lonely? And as I always say, be good to yourself, be good to each other, be blessed, be balanced, and be blissful and blooming, and use your gifts in 2026. I'll see you next time.
The luxury breathing, but I don't think I'm living. Yeah, my mama be tripping, saying you acting different, cause I feel so alone.